My name is Ikenna Osayi. I'm actually a project engineer, soil improvement specialist with Bauer Spezialtiefbau, which is a construction company based in Germany. Yeah. Bauer, like you may know, it's a very great player when it comes to construction. So we're actually here for a range of products which we call the soil improvement techniques, where we try to offer solutions, ground improvement solutions for the bad ground situations. As you know, the several LNG products, they get to be stored in tanks or in vessels which people normally don't see what happens on the ground. So when we come into play, it's basically to tend to improve the ground, to make sure that the settlements are monitored, the settlements are controlled, and in places where you have liquefaction situations for earthquake, seismic activity, we tend to give you, to provide solutions that would help them to have mitigate the liquefaction effects on these structures, and as such tend to control the costs from the beginning. Basically here, this is why we're here, to meet the main players from the beginning to be able to work with us from day one. Yeah. Worldwide also gives you like a range of different soils or different soil situations. For instance, in the Middle East, we have a lot of improvements with a method which we call the vibroflotation. And there you basically work with the compaction of sands. So, but if you work in places where you have in Philippines, where we have a situation where you have a combination of more silty soils or clayey soils. So we have different solutions that we can offer in different ranges in Africa, in the Far East, and also in Latin America, definitely. Oh yes, oh yes. I was at the Congress in Berlin. That was the very first one we attended, and it was very interesting because you have a lot of guys who, a lot of companies who actually. They don't really know what we do because they are the managers. The technical team were not really there. But it was much more impressive this time around, where we had to actually meet guys who understood what we did. So you could actually relate with them on a very personal level in terms of how we could play a huge part in deciding what this project specification would be. And in the same way, it helps us and it helps the client, the main client, to be able to have the right solution from day one, and at the same time to cut costs, instead of having to deal with huge escalations as the projects run, basically. Oh, she was really wonderful. I mean, from day one with the invitation, with the whole management process, the timely information, communication, the arrangements, everything was really superb. I mean, she was the same personnel manager we had in Berlin, and I can tell you she really did a very wonderful job. It's something that most other conferences don't have. This very, structured and very streamlined to your own needs. So I think, yeah, it's a really, really properly planned Congress.